Mexico, a land of ancient civilizations, mysterious pyramids, and chilling ghost stories. From islands filled with cursed dolls to haunted hotels where spirits still roam, these are some of the scariest places in the country. 10 most haunted places in Mexico. Top 10. La Isla de las Muñecas. Deep within the eerie waterways of Xochimilco lies La Isla de las Muñecas, a place where decay and despair converge. The island is draped in hundreds of time-worn dolls dangling from trees and crumbling structures. Legend has it that Don Julian Santana Barrera, the tormented caretaker, began collecting these dolls to appease the vengeful spirit of a young girl who drowned nearby. Today, visitors recount unsettling encounters. Faint whispers echo among the doll-lined paths, and some even claim the dolls seem to shift their gaze, their eyes following every movement. A heavy, suffocating atmosphere hangs over the island, as if unseen hands are forever watching. Each step along its narrow, winding trails deepens the sense of dread, making La Isla de las Muñecas a chilling reminder that some spirits and their relics never rest. Top 9. Palacio de Lecumberri. In the heart of Mexico City stands the infamous Palacio de Lecumberri, once a ruthless penitentiary and now known as the Black Palace. Its cold, oppressive corridors were once filled with the anguished cries of notorious criminals and political prisoners. Even after its closure in 1976, the building's dark history persists. Visitors and staff have reported sudden drops in temperature, ghostly apparitions drifting silently along its halls, and disembodied voices echoing from shadowed corners. The tortured souls of those confined here are said to roam the cells and corridors, their restless presence a perpetual reminder of the suffering endured. Walking through the now abandoned sections of the palace, one cannot shake the feeling that the past is very much alive, a sinister legacy that continues to haunt every stone. Top 8. The Mummy House in Guanajuato. Tucked away in Guanajuato lies the Museo de las Momias, a macabre gallery of naturally mummified remains exhumed from local cemeteries. Each mummified body, preserved by the unique mineral-rich soil, bears a haunting, almost anguished expression frozen in time. Visitors report hearing faint, sorrowful murmurs that seem to emanate from the displayed remains. Some even feel an inexplicable pull, as though unseen forces guide them toward particular mummies, whose eyes seem to hold centuries of untold stories. The chill that permeates the air and the oppressive silence of the museum evoke a palpable sense of dread. For those brave enough to step inside, the House of Mummies offers not only a glimpse into a grisly past, but also an encounter with an eerie presence that defies the boundaries of time and death. Top 7. The Haunted Convent of La Valenciana. Rising above the rugged landscape of Guanajuato, the convent of La Valenciana is steeped in tragic lore. Built in the 1700s, it is said to be haunted by the tormented spirit of a nun condemned for forbidden love. According to legend, she fell for a miner and was brutally punished, walled up alive within these cold stone walls. Today, her anguished cries and sorrowful apparitions are said to roam the convent grounds. Visitors have experienced sudden, bone-chilling cold spots and heard faint, desperate whispers echoing in deserted hallways. Paranormal investigators have captured unexplained noises that send shivers down the spine. The air is thick with the weight of lost hope and unfulfilled love, making the convent a truly haunting relic where every shadow seems to mourn a tragic past. Top 6. The San Juan de Ulua Fortress. Perched on the coast in Veracruz, the San Juan de Ulua fortress is a grim monument to centuries of violence and despair. Originally constructed as a defense against pirates, it later served as a notorious prison where captives were subjected to unspeakable torture. Today, visitors report the clanging of chains echoing in empty corridors and disembodied voices reciting anguished pleas. Spectral soldiers are said to appear at the periphery of vision, vanishing into the darkness as quickly as they emerge. An oppressive energy permeates the fortress, as if the very walls are imbued with the tormented souls of its past inhabitants. The legacy of pain and retribution here is palpable, a dark chapter that refuses to fade with time. Top 5. The Posada del Sol. The crumbling ruins of the Posada del Sol in Mexico City evoke a deep sense of foreboding and sorrow. Constructed in the 1940s to be a grand hotel, it never opened its doors for long as financial ruin and a tragic suicide sealed its fate. Now abandoned, the building is a magnet for restless spirits. Paranormal investigators have recorded eerie electronic voice phenomena and chilling whispers that echo through its decaying halls. Visitors report an overwhelming sensation of being watched and a cold, stifling presence that seems to press down from every shadow. The lingering despair of the souls who met untimely ends within these walls transforms the Posada del Sol into a dark monument, a place where the past bleeds into the present and fear is as tangible as the crumbling brick. Top 4. The Cañitas House. In a quiet corner of Mexico City stands the infamous Cañitas House, a structure forever marked by a series of chilling events. In the 1980s, a group of friends conducted a séance that reportedly unleashed a malevolent force within these walls. Since then, unexplained phenomena have plagued the house. Objects levitate without warning, disembodied voices echo in empty rooms, and shadows seem to slither across the floors. Those who have dared to enter speak of a suffocating presence, as if the house itself has become a living entity feeding on fear. The Cañitas House has become a cursed landmark, a stark reminder that some boundaries, once crossed, unleash horrors that can never be contained. Top 3. The Alamos House. In Sonora, the stately Alamos House stands as a haunting relic of wealth and betrayal. Its grand halls hide a grim secret: the spirit of Doña Maria, a wealthy widow brutally murdered for her fortune. Now, her ghost, draped in spectral white, wanders the mansion, her mournful cries echoing through its deserted corridors. Visitors report an icy touch on their skin and the disquieting sensation of being watched by eyes filled with sorrow. At night, the creak of old floorboards and distant, echoing footsteps intensify the mansion's eerie ambiance. Every room seems to whisper tragic secrets, ensuring that Doña Maria's tormented spirit remains forever intertwined with the house's dark legacy. Top 2. The Misnebalam Ghost Town. Once a thriving henequen plantation, Misnebalam now lies silent, a ghost town steeped in curses and forgotten sorrows. Abandoned in the 20th century, its decaying structures and overgrown paths speak of a rapid downfall and lingering malevolence. Visitors report unsettling encounters. Shadowy figures flit between derelict buildings, and disembodied murmurs seem to rise from the very ground. Electronic devices malfunction inexplicably, and many leave with eerie scratches that defy explanation. The pervasive silence of Misnebalam is broken only by the whisper of the wind, carrying the tragic echoes of those lost to time. The town stands as a desolate testament to a cursed past, where every step reveals a lingering spirit desperate to be remembered. Top 1. The Panteón de Belén. In the heart of Guadalajara, the Panteón de Belén is a cemetery unlike any other, a place where the dead do not rest. Legends tell of a little boy, buried alive, whose cries still echo between ancient tombstones, and of a fearsome vampire whose final act left an indelible mark on this sacred ground. Visitors report spectral figures gliding silently among the ornate mausoleums, ghostly whispers brushing past in the dead of night, and sudden, inexplicable drops in temperature that make the hairs on one's neck stand on end. The atmosphere here is heavy with unresolved tragedies and restless souls. Every stone, every shadow seems to hold a story of woe and terror, ensuring that the Panteón de Belén remains a site of spine-tingling encounters and a stark reminder that some spirits linger long after death.